Yesterday was December 18th. The Three Body Problem series resurfaced in a corner of my mind. I had watched it before, not for its physics, but for the weight of the feeling it left behind. When I thought about it again yesterday, I realized something. My profession was never physics. My three bodies weren't orbiting in the sky. They were moving through streets, tables, relationships. So I built my own sociological three-body problem: borders, money, and women. Three separate masses, each with its own gravity, each imposing its own truth. Borders say, "This is as far as you go." Money says, "Everything has a price." Women ask, "Do you actually see me?" When these three exist in the same room, what we call order quickly turns into chaos, because each wants a different orbit. One demands security, one demands control, one demands meaning. Then I placed three men opposite them, not three different men, but three versions of the same man. One clings to borders, identity, nation, status, belonging. One clings to money, power, certainty, fear of the future. And one clings to connection, being loved, being chosen, having a place in someone's life. And at the center of these men, a fourth word begins to grow: freedom. But freedom here is not a flag, it's a question. Because freedom is not always crossing borders. Sometimes it's not suffocating inside them. It's not always earning money. Sometimes it's refusing to let money become a leash around your neck. It's not always being in a relationship. Sometimes it's not losing your own voice within one. Freedom, then, is the ability to keep walking without being captured by any single gravity. Yesterday I understood this. The modern human drama isn't choice, it's balance. When three bodies pull at once, there is no single correct answer. Sometimes the right decision still hurts someone. Sometimes, to avoid hurting anyone, you end up hurting yourself. Everyone is searching for stability, but no one says this out loud. Stability is rarely a perfect orbit. It's the ability to recover after the fall. Maybe that's why the title sounds like a scientific problem, yet turns into a very current sentence. When three bodies come together, a person's true character is revealed. Who are you next to borders? Who are you next to money? And inside a woman's gaze, who are you? December 18th made me think this. Some problems aren't solved, they're lived. And freedom isn't the solution. It's the way you endure. When evening came, as I always do, I opened my date notebook. On the page for December 18th, 1865, there was this note: December 18th, 1865. Slavery was officially abolished in the United States. I paused, because there was an unsettling connection between this date and the three bodies I had been thinking about during the day: borders, money, and relationships. Slavery had officially ended, but freedom was not that clear, because chains are not always made of iron. Sometimes they are a passport, sometimes a debt, sometimes a sentence like, "If I'm loved, I should endure this." When slavery was abolished, people didn't instantly become free. They had to learn what freedom actually looked like. And that is a difficult process, because freedom is not only about being released from something, it is also about taking responsibility for yourself. The three bodies I had thought about earlier came back to me: borders, money, relationships. They may not be the new chains of the modern age, but when they are poorly constructed, they become masses that pin a person in place all the same. Money is mistaken for freedom, yet it often turns into a new form of obedience. Borders are mistaken for safety, yet sometimes they quietly suffocate. Relationships are seen as salvation, yet at times they force a person to abandon themselves. The abolition of slavery reminded me of this. Freedom is not a decision. It is a practice. It is rebuilt every day, tested in every relationship, weakened or strengthened by every choice. This is where the modern three-body problem truly begins, because no one is chained anymore, yet everyone stands too close to something, and anything you stand too close to eventually develops its own gravitational pull. I wrote this in the margin of the page: slavery begins with chains. Freedom begins with distance. True freedom is not escaping the three bodies. It is learning to draw an orbit of your own between them.